Good evening and welcome to season 13 of NXTGEN. We're here after the Christmas break to continue on the leagues. And this is going to be something special. We're here at Bathurst in Mount Panorama, and it is quite a bit wet. It is fair to say. We're here in the Ford Sierra Cosworths, so not an easy car either to be driving. I'm going to allow them to get around. Long lap, very, very long lap around here. You see there, Envoy Extreme having a bit of issues. Extreme coming down the bottom part of the circuit. Let's see who is. Is that a Morris? Could that possibly be Jamie up in front of him? No, who is? Let's have a look. It's Fraser. So let's go on board here with Fraser then for a lap of... Oh, we won't go on board with Fraser for a lap of Bathurst. Let's go on board with Adam Morris, who's also spun at Murray's. It's a spin fest. With the rain and get the puddles. But we're underway then for a lap of Bathurst in the wet with Adam Morris. There's Tim. Good Fraser. So we're into hell. And you see, clipping the puddle on the inside doesn't help him at all. Out of hell corner, down mountain straight. Absolutely pinned all the way. Expecting to be braking earlier here. Into Quarry Bend. Down the hill, they hit the brakes. Try not to lock it up. Fraser has locked it up. He's gone straight on at Quarry Bend. We carry on. Up towards the cutting. There goes Jamie and Adam Morris. Into the cutting then. All of them opting for the wider line. Up towards Griffin's Mount and Reed Park. You see there, Adam Morris just clipping the wall into Reed Park. Not the ideal line because of Adam clipping the wall there. Down towards Solomon Park. And now towards the back end's gone for Fraser. He's clipped the wall again. Down towards McPhillamy Park now. Jack's lap time's been invalid. He's clipped the inside puddle. That sends him around. His lap going from pretty much bad to worse here for Fraser. Now he's got to find a way of getting around. He's sat on that curb. Dangerous place. I think that's Tim who's just not gone past him. We head down towards Skyline. And the S's. Very, very careful through here. Into the dipper. Trying to apply the power on the way out. Through this flick left, flick right, and into the Forest Elbow. This is going to be a tough one again. Obviously downhill off Camber. And Whitford, I believe that is, if he's here. Yes, just gone down the inside of Fraser at the Forest Elbow. Onto the Conrod Straight, then we come. very, very long straight. This could get even more interesting now as we head over the hill into the flick right. And into the chase. Oh, and he's caught the puddle again on the exit of the chase. Good job there's no damage on. Down towards Murray's for the final time. Another car like that. You see more cars spinning at Murray's. It's just a lake down there. And a connection between those two being made. That's a lap of Bathurst. It's taken a long time. The fastest lap so far, Jamie F13 with a 2:32.517 around the 3.86 mile circuit. Opened in 1938. Was slightly smaller actually back when it opened up, only about 6.1 miles, because they didn't have the chase. But the cars tonight we have Jack Team 53 Synopsis, who has just gone onto pole position provisionally. Jamie FL30, WRT Edu STM, Whitford 0, Scooby G, Delez, D Whitehouse 7, Royston, Fraser, Tim in the Garage, Envoy Extreme, Cam 123 Diz, and Audi F1 Adam Morris. Round out all of our 13 drivers here at Bathurst. The current championship standings, however, let's go through them. Get you up to date on everything since we've had a couple of weeks off due with the Christmas break. See, last was round 3 at the classic Spa-Francorchamps. Edu does lead the championship with 49 points, followed by Jamie FL30 on 45, joint with Jack Team 53 Synopsis. Scooby G is tied with them on 45 points in 4th. Adam Morris has got 37, the Les is on 13, D Whitehouse 7. He is currently on 29. Whitford 0 on 26, Fraser 26, Royston 24. In 10th place. Slider Gas 28, who's not here, he's actually on holiday. He has got 16 points on 11th. Tim is on 14 points, Caesar 82 on 10. Line of Greasby on 8. Ben Sully on 8. Cam 123 Diz on 7. One Home Mofo is on 6. A1 Gizmo 4. Envoy Extreme 4. And Shockshaft on 3 as we head into night time in qualifying. Adam Morris coming through to set his time hopefully with 6 minutes 40 to go. And a spin there at Murray's corner. And another one in the background spinning. That could be Jamie. So we continue on. Adam Morris puts in a 2:44, spins it at hell. It's not being kindness to Adam Morris. Jack, your current pole sitter, followed by Jamie by .078. These two really do like this track. It's fair to say. As Jamie comes up through the cutting. Drifting his way through Griffin's Mountain into Reed Park. Drifting, and it's gone away from him. That's into the wall for Jamie FL30 and into the pits. Jack into the pits now. There's Edu. On board with the Spaniard. Oh, he's clipped the wall. The current championship leader into the cutting. And Jack has gone even quicker so far. He's put in a 2:30.352. And see Edu trying to lay the power down, just not having any of it. Now, there is some word from the pit lane. I did have a few Oh, and that's a collision. It's not Whitford. Who is that in front of... Not Tim, it's not Invite Extreme. Royston. So if you're watching, do comment on who you think is going to win this race, because it is raining in the race as well. Oh, and that is Adam Morris in the background, is it? No, it's not. It's Edu. Beg my pardon. Edu in the background, coming over towards the Forest Elbow, spinning out. Let's have a look. And that's another spin for Edu. Right in front of Adam Morris that time. Jack's back out. There is Jamie at the moment, currently in second. Someone else has spun. Coming out of the Forest Elbow. So, news from the pit lane is going to be a tough race. Because it is slap bang in the middle of the summer for Australia. So, the tyres do heat up quite fast. Lap 2, definitely lap 3, some people's tyres will start hitting the dark orange or red. Going down the S's using the loose setup, but however the loose setup is about a second or so quicker than the stable around Mount Panorama. Stable can do a few more laps before going hot with the tyres and destroying them, but it's harder to control if the car snaps due to the heat. The car will slide and spin until later at night, hopefully. The lap times obviously will be slower because of the rain for starters and the heat. Most of this is all whilst the weather was still being calculated. As you see Edu going up through the hill. Here comes Fraser, trying not to spin at the final corner. I can hear another car. I think that's a Hell. Fraser goes through, doesn't really improve. We have a minute 50 to go. D Whitehouse 7 coming towards the end of his current lap. Who else we got coming to the end of the lap? It's Jack going very, very slowly out of the chase. So I'm assuming cooling his tyres down for one final attempt here by the current pole sitter. And he's almost spun at Murray's corner. As always, if you have any comments regarding qualifying on the race, do comment in the comment section. I will read them out, and that's the end of Jack's lap. Who else we've got? Here comes Adam Morris, D Whitehouse 7 behind him, into the lake of Murray's corner. He's got through it, he's managed to aquaplane through that one. Comes across the line. Goes second quickest, a 2:32.0. Great time. D Whitehouse 7 does not improve. Edu has gone for a big spin at the chase. Who is coming through the final corner? It is Royston. Can he set a time quicker than 2:43 to move himself up a position? And the answer is no, he stays in 11th. And Jamie, there's Edu, he spun at Murray's corner. And Jamie almost spins. Edu comes up to the line. I don't think he'll be quicker because he's already spun the car. He's going to go... Oh, Oh dear, I think Jamie just ruined his attempt there at a practice start. Fraser spinning at the chase. He now returns to the pit lane. DI House 7 and still on his lap. Watch him up towards Skyline now and the S's. Now see, the rain is quite bad at the moment with the puddles because of the time progression is so quick. However, it shouldn't be as bad because the time progression in the race will be slower. So it should be interesting. As DY House 7 final man on track, comes down to the chase, gets on the grass, not where you want to be. Kept it on, good driving that from DY House 7. Down to Murray's Corner, the lake, that is Murray's Corner. Murray's Lake, he comes in, look at how wide a line he's taking. That's what you call squaring the corner up. Crossing the line. Can he get any quicker than a 2:41.7? The answer is yes, he does. You're not wrong, Matthew. You're not wrong. But Jack takes pole position here at Bathurst, followed by Adam Morris, 1.7 seconds off the pace. Jamie F13 is in third. Scooby is in fourth. Edu 5th, Whitford 0 in 6th, the Les is 7th, Cam123 Deers in 8th, DY House 7 in 9th, Fraser in 10th, Royston 11th, Tim is in 12th, Envoy Extreme is in 13th place. Both Tim and Envoy Extreme didn't qualify. Now, you're definitely not wrong, Matthew. It is going to be a challenging race. Could be quite an entertaining one for us to watch. So we will see. The current championship leader, the Spaniard of Edu, currently in 5th. He's got to go careful because he hasn't got many points. He's only got 4 points to Jamie, Jack and Scooby G. So he's going to want to try and get up there and really mix it in with him because he's got all three of his rivals ahead of him at this point. Leverage currently waiting because Jack is explaining to the guys that the rain shouldn't be as bad in the race due to the time progression. Well, that is at least the theory. So, who do you think is going to win? Put it in the comments before the race starts. It'd be interesting to know. Could be a tight one. I think Jack should really win this one. He's got the pace. But if he makes a mistake in the rain, he's going to get punished for it. Oh, God. Still waiting here for the race to get underway. Coming up 5 to 9. Here we're getting going here, boys. Remember, straight into the race. Here we go then. It's wet, it's wonderful. Envoy Extreme has left the session. We're down to 12. We have the 3 red lights. We are green here at Bathurst. Who's got the best getaway? I think it's fairly even, although Jack's managed to cover his way to that lead. Jamie F13 currently defending his position from Scooby G. Scooby tries to go around the outside of Hale Corner there, side by side, a bit of door rubbing there. Nothing new between the two after Austria in Season 12. Jamie's going to have the legs though. Whitford 0, side by side with Edu. Edu going to be down a position going into Quarry Bend here on lap number 1 of 11. They hit the brakes. Whitford, oh, and a touch onto Edu. Edu into the barrier, down a couple of positions there. He's lucky to get away with only 1 position loss, so I think Whitford will have to give that back at some point. Oh, and more contact between the two going into the cutting. Bit of payback. Oh, and that's Edu into the wall, coming back across, almost into Cam. Further down the field, we have Fraser Round with DY House 7. Oh, and that's not a great rejoin that from DY House 7. Clipping the back of Royston. Where's Tim in all of this? Tim up into 9th place with Royston behind him. Good job. There's Delez. He's currently in 8th place. At the front there we have Jack leading from Scooby G. Adam Morris has made a mistake somewhere. He's down in 4th. Jamie is in 3rd. Adam Morris 4th. There's Whitford in 5th. There's Edu and Cam123D. Is Cam making a good move here through the dipper. Can't quite get it complete though on the exit as we head down towards the Forest Elbow for the first time. Whitford running along the barrier there. Oh, what happened? What's gone on with Cam there? I think he's lit up the rears a little bit and his car's decided to go left. Now the front and Jack still leads. Edu looking to get on the tail end of Whitford. He's achieved that. Can he possibly make a move? He's too far back here, but can he set him up towards Murray's? Whitford has run wide of his own accord there. Unforced error from Whitford. Sees him lose the place to Edu. Lose the place to Cam. He's down to 7th. WRT Edu and Cam up to 5th and 6th respectively there. They've got to go careful because the legs is right behind him as well. Royston has got past him. And there's Fraser, DY House 7 at the back on the grass. And that's not an ideal place. You want to have the back end step out there. Don't want to be touching the grass in this wet weather condition. Jack still leads. Edu has Cam right on his tail for company. On board with Cam. You see the wiper going absolutely berserk here into Quarry Bend. A bit wide from Edu. Cam's got a little bit of a run. Can't quite capitalise. Car just understeering a little bit too much there. So we head into the cutting. Edu looks a bit more ragged here compared to Cam. But at the front, we have it very tight. The top 3 covered by less than 4/10 of a second as we head towards Skyline. No, we're actually into McPhennemy Park first. Then towards the Skyline. And towards the S as we go. Jack really tentative there. All 3 of them tentative. And all 3 of them have a chance here to go out of this as championship and leader. Because where's Edu? Edu has made a mistake and has dropped back to 8th place now. He's behind the Les. They're 2 seconds off of Whitford and Cam. Oh, and that is the Les into the wall. Coming down to the Forest Elbow. And that is Adam Morris, who is spun at the Forest Elbow. Now having to wait, as here comes Royston. Fraser now coming down. Now Tim. He'll have a 10-second gap here. Oh, he couldn't quite get the back end to flick around there. Jamie's still behind. Jamie's lost a bit of time. 5 seconds there. He's made a mistake somewhere. There's Scooby. trying to chase down the leader here. He's got half a second to get to him. Whitford and Cam. No, Cam, sorry. Edu. These two pretty much inseparable at the moment on the circuit. On board with Edu, coming out of Murray's and towards Hell Corner for the third time this race. It breaks into the 9 left, and that is Whitford up ahead. And Cam has made a slight mistake. Dropped a little bit of time there through Hell Corner. Down Mountain Straight. Into Quarry. Got a battle behind because we've got Royston and Fraser coming quite close together now. Only half a second between those two as they come into Quarry. And keep an eye on both battles here because Edu is still hounding the tail. Adam Morris has made another mistake. He's now behind D Whitehouse 7. He's having a bad race after that brilliant qualifying lap he put in. Fraser has now got past Royston. Probably coming out of Quarry Bend, or going through Quarry Bend there. But Fraser up into 8th. And at the front, Scooby G still can't quite match Jack here. With getting away from Edu then because Edu clipping the grass, coming out to McPhillamy. Oh, and that's a spin for Cam. Cam has spun, going through the dipper. So now we have a battle for 4th on our hands. Oh, and the back end trying to escape as well into the Forest Elbow. Edu quite wide out of the Forest Elbow. Doesn't lose the place though. Got away with it. At the front though we have Jack and Scooby. Scooby looking to get a run through the chase. He's going around the outside of the second part. Jack can't do anything about that at all. That is a cracking move from Scooby G. He now takes the lead. As we're down to 11 cars. Adam Morris retiring from this race. Can Jack get a run though coming up towards Hell Corner? This battle for the lead. Potentially battle for the championship lead. Coming out of here. Into Hell. You see a different line from Jack trying to get the power on earlier. Down Mountain Straight. He should have a run. Looks to the inside. Not enough room. Scooby just hugging the middle of the circuit, which makes it very difficult on this track to overtake. Down towards Quarry. Jack looks to the outside. He's going to try it. He's gone off wide into the barriers. Couldn't quite hold it. It was always going to be a difficult move to make, and he's now suffered the consequence of it. As they now head up through to the cutting. Scooby G leads this race here on lap number 4. Brilliant racing from the boys so far. And now Tim has D Whitehouse 7 up the inside at Hell, and that is a 10th place for D Whitehouse 7. Having to make a bit of a comeback drive here after spinning out on lap number 1. But we can all settle down now. We have 3 laps of pretty good action so far around here at Bathurst. But everyone's a bit spread out now. I think it won't be until the end of the race as Tim goes into the wall. Can't do his flying antics though, as we saw back in Classic Spa with the M1 Pro cars. There's Scooby G now. Ideally, Jack wanted to make a mistake because these two are joint on points. Also with this man here, Jamie F430, who's losing time at the moment because he has got Whitford gradually closing in on him, which could make this battle for the final podium position quite interesting. You know how quick Whitford is. He's currently 8th in the standings with only 26 points. We know he's a quick driver. But is he quick enough to catch up to that 3rd place man? The gap at the front closing down. 1.3 the gap coming across the line. Jack taking 6/10 out of Scooby G that lap. Need to watch this gap for the lead, but that is Edu right on the tail of the Les, going through Murray's. So he doesn't quite get the exit he wanted. Into hell. Behind them we have Fraser, who has passed Cam. Cam in the pit lane. Now, we did potentially suspect some tyre changes coming into effect here. Cam may be doing one here. Will lose you some time, but it could gain him at the end of the race if everyone else's tyres are absolutely cooked. Oh, and Edu's into the wall. I think he's just tapped the back of the lead. And that's caused the rear end of the car. Oh, that's Sierra Cosworth to spin, and that's allowed Fraser to pass now into 6th place. Scooby G still leads. He took time out of Jack that time around, about 1.3 seconds worth. He feathers the throttle down the hill. The reigning, defending champion for the Group A's last year, carries it into the Group A1s. You just hear people feathering the throttle down the hill, making sure they don't lose the back end. As Jamie comes onto the Conrod. There's the Les, there's Fraser, there's Edu. Royston coming over the skyline. Now, Cam 123 Diz. What can he do with a fresh set of boots? Jack has lost more time here. It's not gone well here for Jack. Started on pole position. 2:26 from Scooby G. That is an absolute cracker lap. Compared to a 2:28.5, 2.5 seconds. Quicker than Jack that time around. A sensational pace from the reigning champion. And Waitford isn't far behind on a 2:26.9. He is starting to catch up Jamie. Oh, and Jamie's into the wall. A lack of concentration from Jamie FL30. Means he's now lost that 3rd place to Whitford. Maybe looking behind, not realising his car was actually drifting left. That puts him into the wall and into 4th place. Whitford 0 takes advantage. Can he stay there though? That's the question. As he drifts it into the cutting as we head towards night time. Here at Bathurst. Sun is setting, the stars are coming out. There's the Les. The question is, who will be the star of the show at the end of the race on the top step of that podium? And it looks like it could be Scooby G. And I thought I saw Edu go round. He has gone round, cleared the wall at the cutting. There's a race to forget for the Spaniard, but he needs to keep going. He needs to make sure he finishes this race, claim some points here. This is all about damage limitation now for Edu. He's not going to, unfortunately, he will not be leading coming out of this, but he can limit the damage done. He says, but Whitford is actually leaving Jamie behind him here. Gap now 3.4. And Edu has retired. Not ideal that for the Spaniard. That means he's going to lose more and more points. As Jamie loses the back end into the chase, into the wall. Can he get off the grass in time? He can. But that pretty much seals his place there in 4th place at the moment. Unless Whitford makes a mistake somewhere else. And it's one of those things with Edu. He just doesn't finish the race, and that means that instead of losing maybe 11 points or 10 points, he actually loses 21 now. Which means compared to Scooby, Jack, well, compared to Scooby here, instead of being only 6 points maybe, he's going to end up like 17 points behind. As the Les enters hell. Currently in the top 5 here, the Les. Good little drive here. But he has got Fraser trying to get after him. Although, better lap by Les compared to Fraser there. By 0.6 of a second. 2.1 the gap now. As we head into night, no one's really close to each other at the moment. It's all a bit stalemate. Cam is starting to put lap times in though, 2:29.2. But Scooby is really starting to run away. There's a 2:27.9 on that last lap. He's starting to find the limit of that Sierra. He flashes his lights for the camera. There he is, playing stealth mode. Maybe he gives him extra power, like in Formula E. He gets an extra boost of energy by turning off his lights. Maybe that's the secret. Jack, though, now 4.5 behind Scooby. Finding it difficult to keep up with the defending champion. And he's gradually getting reeled in at the current rate by Whitford. Whitford taking 2.2 out of Jack. On the last lap, on lap number 6. We come around to finish lap number 7. Trying to call off his tyres almost. And again, more time from Whitford. Takes another 0.6 out of Jack. The gap now 3.4. Right now, Whitford the quickest man on the circuit. With that 2:27.7. 0.6 quicker than anybody. Further behind, we got Royston gradually getting caught up here by D. Whitehouse 7. So gradually got 7 seconds taken out of in the last lap, meaning a spin for Royston. Oh, D. Whitehouse 7, very interesting. That gap on the inside was never going to happen in a million years. But like the enthusiasm, he's got a good drive out of the chase as well. With Royston being quite careful. And that is moved complete actually by D. Whitehouse 7 before the final corner. Royston just getting to the end by the seams of it. And making sure he doesn't make any sort of mistake here. Good move though by D. Whitehouse 7. Cam not really having the effect we thought. He is 33 seconds behind Royston. I don't think his pit stop strategy has worked here. Back with Jack, Scooby and Whitford here. Scooby back onto the Conrod straight. Not really any time gained here by Whitford on this lap. The gap 4 seconds as they head onto the Conrod. Obviously that will close back up. Cam back in the pit lane. I wonder if the way he's driving that thing, I mean that's both times 3 laps a pop at his tyres, and the guy he's having to pit. That's not quite how I would envision the race. I thought maybe a 1 stop. But he's about to get laps now by Scooby G. Here comes Jack for good measure. 4 seconds behind, and there goes Whitford. Here comes Cam. He's about to come out the pit lane. Where does he fit in? He's going to be behind Jack here. A lap down, which is unusual to say for Cam. At the back of the pack, still in the top 10 though. This went for 0. Actually lost a couple of tenths to Jack that lap. He's only got 3 more laps. He's got to start reading him in at a rate of knots, which is pretty much impossible right now, unless Jack makes some mistakes. Need to head around the field. There's Cam, there's Tim up ahead of him. Here we go, we've got a battle on. Potentially. There's Tim. Where is Jack in all of this? Is that Jack ahead of Tim? What's up to Tim? Oh, Tim's actually gone off. I think that's at Solomon Park. It's a bit of an accident. Let's put him behind Cam now. No idea what happened to Tim there, but oh, he's just gone off again. That time in the dipper. Just getting to the end, getting points here is the key thing for this race. As he heads into the Forest Elbow. There's Jack, he's got 3.6 to Whitford, 3.8 to Scooby G. It's looking very, very stalemate, and it's looking likely now that Scooby G will take the win at the moment. He's got 2 more laps of Bathurst to complete. We continue on, 2 more laps of Bathurst in the dark. As Jack comes up to the cutting. Still not much else going on at the moment. There's the Les currently in 5th. Fraser in 6th at the moment. There's D-Way House 7. Back up to 7th at the moment with his recovery drive. It's been a fantastic effort. Oh, I believe. Yes, it was. That was Fraser spinning at Murray's corner. The final corner of the circuit. Currently in 6th place, nowhere near the Les. There's Jamie in 4th. He's currently 5.3 behind Whitford. He's not going to be catching him anytime soon. But he won't be caught. He's just going to come through for that 4th place. He'll get ahead of Edu, so he'll definitely be in the top 3. Come the end of this race in the championship standings. The Les will move up a couple of positions here, I think, as well, being in 5th. He'll gain 12 points, which will put him on 42. And that'll put him up into 5th place in the standings. Not quite enough to catch Edu. Jamie coming down towards the chase for his penultimate time. He does have, not Tim, that's Cam 1-3 Diz ahead of him. Whitford's gone round at Murray's corner. There goes Cam. Where's Jamie? Where's Jamie? He's just coming around Murray's corner, drifting his way through. He needs to get on the back of Whitford, and he needs to get on the back of him now. He's going to have one final lap here. An unforced error from Whitford. This has closed this battle for the final podium position up. Only 1.2 separates them. A flash of lights to say thank you to Cam for letting them both through. Whitford cannot allow another slip up. He got away with that one big time. They head into the cutting for the final time. Into the wall for Jamie as well. That might well ruin the chance. 1.7 still the gap. It would have to require Whitford now to make a mistake. Which could happen. Final corner. Big potential. Running a bit wide through Solomon Park. Up to McPhillamy. And towards Skyline for the final time for Whitford 0. Can he claim this podium position? This will be 15 glorious points. Should put him on 31. 41 even. Put him on 41 points is for Whitford. Big deal. Looks like he's got it at the moment. Oh, thought Jamie was having a bit of a spin there, but here comes Scooby G into the chase for the final time. Down to Murray's corner. And it will be NGR Scooby G who takes the win here at Bathurst. He's now a championship leader coming out of Bathurst. Jack 253 Synopsis will come home a brilliant second, a cracking drive. Whitford will complete the podium. He makes no mistake on that final corner this time around. Jamie will come home in 4th. And here comes Cam in 9th place. Who will be next? The Les. The Les will come home in the top 5 position. Another solid result from the Les. That will be Tim. Going around with no lights. Deciding to be Batman. Stealth mission. So it's going to be mission impossible unfortunately today. He comes home in 10th and last. Good points still though for Tim. Very well held out for those points as well. Fraser with DY House 7 right almost there. Another lap or two maybe and DY House 7 may have been able to get to Fraser. But Fraser comes home in 6th place. Followed by DY House 7 in 7th. The last man to cross the line will be NGR Royston. Into Murray's corner for the final time for the final car. He's only got 13 seconds to get to the line. With 5 seconds to spare, Royston comes home in 8th place. So, provisional results. Scooby G will win here at Bathurst, followed by Jack DM53 Synopsis. Whitford 0, Jamie FL30, The Les, Fraser in 6th, DY House 7 in 7th, Royston in 8th, Cam123 Diz in 9th, Tim in 10th. Adam Morris retired along with Edu and Envoy Extreme did not start the race. So that's the end of round number 4 now. The next round next week round number 5. Very, very special round. Very special round. It's Silverstone National in the BMW M3s, but it's the 100th race of the Group A series. So he's gone through many name changes through the seasons, but it's the 100th race. It's going to be an absolute cracker. I believe there's something special in store for it, so don't know what that is. Do join us next week for Silverstone National in the BMW M3s for that 100th race celebration. But from myself and the Group A1s, thank you for watching tonight. It's been an absolute pleasure. If you have joined us, next up is the Modern Touring Cars from Road America, so do stay tuned for that. They'll be on in about the next 5 to 10 minutes. But from us here, thank you for watching and enjoy the rest of your evening.